Everyone seems terrified that AI is coming for physicians. AI will read x-rays now. It will diagnose patients. It will write our notes. AI will replace doctors. That's the conversation we're having. But I think we're asking the wrong question. Because if AI is going to replace somebody in healthcare, I have a better idea. Don't replace the doctor, replace the bureaucracy. And specifically, replace the bureaucracy that stands between doctors and patients. Hi, I'm Tyler Goldberg. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Austin, Texas. A few years ago, I walked away from the traditional insurance-driven model and built a concierge orthopedic practice. I didn't do it because I stopped loving surgery. I did it because I wanted to spend more time taking care of patients and less time fighting systems. If you're a physician, nurse, administrator, or even a patient who's been caught in the middle of healthcare lately, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the biggest problem in healthcare isn't a lack of intelligence, it's administrative friction. And AI might finally have a chance to solve that. Every healthcare conference I attend seems to focus on the same thing: how AI will help diagnose disease, how AI will read imaging, how AI will improve clinical decision-making. And sure, those things are important, but let's be honest. Most physicians spend their days wishing they could diagnose more efficiently. Most physicians spend their days wishing they could spend less time dealing with the nonsense. The thing stealing physician time isn't diagnosis, it's bureaucracy, prior authorizations, peer-to-peer reviews, insurance denials, documentation requirements, compliance reporting, inbox at the end of the day management, right? Administrative tasks that seem to multiply every day, every week, every month, and every year. None of us went to medical school dreaming about spending our afternoons arguing with insurance companies. Yet somehow, that's now become a normal part of modern practice. I recently read a post from a hospitalist describing what happens every day when patients need post-acute care. The patient isn't sick enough to stay in the hospital, but they're not safe enough to go home. They need skilled nursing, inpatient rehab, long-term acute care, a bridge between survival and recovery. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Not anymore. Now, the treating physician often has to enter a maze of approvals, denials, documentation requests, phone calls, peer-to-peer reviews. Think about how absurd this becomes. The treating physician has examined the patient. They've reviewed the chart, talked to the family, watched the patient's progress in the hospital. They understand the risk and they ultimately carry the responsibility for the outcome. Meanwhile, someone who has never met the patient can override that recommendation from a distance, from a glass house. Not because they know the patient better, but because they control the approval process. That's not a clinical debate, that's administrative theater. And this is where I think we need to rethink the whole AI conversation. What if AI didn't replace physicians? What if AI actually replaced the administrative battle physicians are forced to fight every day? Imagine this. Your AI assistant reviews the chart. It analyzes the therapy notes, the mobility assessments, the oxygen requirements, the comorbidities. It analyzes the readmission risk for the patient. It analyzes the family support systems and the discharge barriers. And then it prepares a case for you. On the other side, the insurance company AI reviews its criteria. And those two AI systems compare the data, apply the standards, and reach a determination. No hold music, no scheduling games, no callback windows, no 30-minute arguments in the middle of a clinic, no physician pulled away from patient care to sit on these calls. If insurers are increasingly relying on algorithms to make decisions, physicians deserve algorithmic advocacy. Let AI argue with AI and let doctors get back to caring for people. Here's what many people outside medicine still don't understand. Most physicians don't burn out because of patients. Patients are usually the best part of the job. Physicians burn out because everything standing between them and patients, endless clicks, the documentation, the approvals, the administrative hurdles, the feeling that your expertise matters less and less in the process. That's why so many physicians feel trapped. That's why they leave medicine. That's why we see early retirements, On average, 15-year early retirements. Are they retiring? No, not really. They're finding other gigs. That's why we see doctors leave clinical medicine. It's not because they stopped caring. It's because they got tired of fighting the systems that make caring so much harder. One of the biggest misconceptions about concierge medicine is that it's about luxury. It's not. At least not in the way I think about concierge medicine. The real value of concierge medicine is that it removes the layers of administrative interference. It gives physicians more time, it gives patients more access, and it restores that physician-patient relationship. It allows medical decisions to happen between doctors and patients instead of being filtered through endless layers of bureaucracy. That's why so many physicians are exploring alternative practice models. Not because they want less medicine. Nope, we're good with it. Because we want more medicine and less administrative friction. I don't fear AI. I fear wasting one of the greatest technological advances of our lifetime on the wrong problems. If AI helps physicians spend more time with patients, that's a win. If AI eliminates unnecessary administrative burden, that's a win. If AI restores physician autonomy and patient access, then we got to win there too. But if all we do is use AI to squeeze more productivity out of the already exhausted clinicians that are there, we miss the point. The first job AI should replace isn't doctors, it's bureaucracy. Because healthcare doesn't need fewer physicians, it needs fewer obstacles between physicians and patients. If you're a physician who knows the system isn't working anymore, you're not crazy. You just need a different model. That's what we talk about here at NAOCA. And if you've ever wondered whether concierge medicine could be the right solution for you, go to orthopedic-concierge.com and take the practice assessment. It might help you see exactly what's possible when you spend less time fighting the system and more time taking care of patients.